Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a build installing magnets and forgetting which way the magnet should be facing? Or worse yet, you don't realize until after the epoxy is cured that the magnets you just installed were backwards? Maybe you used Sharpie to mark all your magnets, but the Sharpie wore off. Or you couldn't remember if the mark was supposed to be up or down when you were installing the magnets. I'm going to show you the way that I've learned to keep the polarity of my magnets straight, and so far it's proven to be pretty foolproof. And believe me, I've had plenty of opportunities to screw it up. At last count, these got close to 100 magnets in them, and so far so good. So let me show you a simple trick that I use to keep them straight. So in addition to the glue of your choice, I generally use 5-minute epoxy. The only other things that you're going to need are, well, I like to use in my spare X-Acto blades, but anything that's small and flat and metal will work. And I place these across the top of the magnet to hold them flush with the surface of whatever part I'm gluing them into. And then I also just have some pieces of blue painter's tape, and that's really just to provide a barrier between the magnet and the X-Acto blade, just in case there's any squeeze out of epoxy. It pulls apart really pretty easy. But the key is in the stack of magnets. So this is basically how I keep everything straight. I store all of my magnets in a single stack like this, and as I get more magnets, I'll just add them to the middle of the stack. So I always have this handy. On one end, I have a piece of blue tape, and on the other end, I have a piece of green tape. And that's how I identify the polarity of the magnets that I'm going to install. So in this case, what I need to do is I need to install magnets in a new top plate that's going to mate with B's hat that already has the other magnets in there. So I simply find out which side of the stack sticks to the magnet. In this case, it's the blue end. So I'm going to take off the last few magnets there with my green tape. I don't need those, so I'll just keep those out of the way. And now all I need to keep track of is that I'm installing blue magnets. And since there's only one mark on here, I don't even have to remember really that it's blue magnets. This is the stack that's out. And anytime I'm installing a magnet, it's going to be done with this blue marker on top. So the process for actually installing the magnet is really straightforward then. All you do is drop your epoxy in the hole, put your stack in here, and you're actually going to install the magnet that's at the bottom of the stack by just dropping that in and sliding the stack off and leaving the magnet behind. Put your masking tape over top, your X-Acto blade on top of that, and then you're good to go. And that, in a nutshell, is pretty much the process. Honestly, I think what really works best about this process is that it leaves pretty much no room for error. There's no way that I can get confused. As long as I'm consistent in how I approach the magnets, I work in small batches, so I only need to have one color stack out at any given time. And yeah, it's just worked out really well for me. So anyway, that's about it for this little tip. I hope it helps some of you avoid costly mistakes in the future with installing your magnets. So I think I'll leave you on that note, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.